late night at the MAAC tournament. Canisius and Manhattan. Alongside Steve Bazaz, I'm AJ Cannell. Quarterfinal round of the MAAC championships, and it's the second-seeded Canisius Golden Griffins against the seventh-seeded Manhattan Jaspers. Two teams that played in the regular season, and the lower seed actually won the lone matchup between the two.
And Manhattan beat Canisius just a couple weeks ago up in Buffalo. Manhattan with their best shooting performance of the year in that game. They shot 65%.
Iona, the first representative of the MAAC in the semifinals, advancing in a thrilling victory earlier on tonight. But Tacole Molson, the player to watch, all MAAC first teamer for Canisius.
A 10th player in program history to be put on the first team, only the third sophomore. And Tacole Molson, 17 points per game, third in the MAAC.
Molson playing really great basketball as of late, 21 points per game in his last three as well. And on the Manhattan side, got a look at the post player, the freshman Warren Williams.
Playing big-time minutes for Manhattan. Paulie Polycap went down earlier in the year. Williams, the big man in the middle. 6 straight games in double figures for the Jaspers.
Williams hails from Jamaica and having a great freshman year with Manhattan under Steve Masiello. Coach Mass in his 8th year for the Jaspers. He now has 10 MAAC tournament wins, which is a program record. 15-10 in the month of March.
A job that he's done with this young team this season.
And now Coach Witherspoon, 3rd year for Canisius, longtime former Buffalo head coach. And he's excited for this opportunity, hoping to break the quarterfinal curse for his team.
2 straight years as the 2 seed, got knocked off last year by Quinnipiac in this game.
We got Canisius in gray, Manhattan in green. 7 seeds have had a lot of success in recent years in the tournaments. 3 trips to the semis in the last 6 years. Both senior classes are looking to punch their ticket to the MAAC semifinals for the first time. So it's been a drought in this round for both of these teams. It's the expected starting 5 for both teams, and Manhattan, exactly what they want to do, Steve, turn the opponent over.
And that's something that Canisius cannot do, is turn it over against this Manhattan D. You'll see Manhattan, they'll like the press, and then they'll fall back into that zone defense. But they are a tough team to play against with their style. They play rugged, physical basketball. They like to run and jump, try to create some turnovers.
Trying to go over the top to Williams, and they had that play.
Oh, Williams was open. That's a nice first play to run. Steve Masiello drawing one up, just couldn't execute.
Canisius beat Siena in their final regular season game a week ago. Had a long time to wait and just knew who their opponent would be as of last night when Manhattan beat Fairfield in the 7-10 game. Hitchin, the rising sophomore, has been trending upward throughout the season, is called for a travel, and it's 2 for 2 in terms of turnovers for the Golden Griffins.
Well, Hitchin's going to have to play a big role in this game for Canisius. I like his game, by the way. I think he's a versatile player. He can step out and shoot the 3 and post up. A good Manhattan defense on that possession.
Reynolds looking to dump it down to Williams, and both teams feeling each other out early on. It's the unbalanced schedule that's going to go away next year when they bring it back to 20 games, but a couple of teams at once, Steve, during the regular season.
Yeah, Manhattan really played a great game against Canisius.
That's an easy dunk for Williams.
In that first meeting in the regular season, that was only a couple weeks ago, Manhattan shot 65%. This is a team that only scores 57 points per game. They shot 65% in that game against Canisius.
Johnson with the drive over to Hitchin, the elbow jumper. Funny thing was that even though Manhattan won that game, Steve Masiello, I asked him about the result, and he said he thinks they're not going to win again if they play that way. He felt like the game was too much of an offensive game for his taste, and that's more how Canisius wants to play. Williams having his way early in the game.
And this is a key to the game. Williams doing a good job of carving out space, and he's got an advantage against Hitchin down low. Williams has tremendous size How will Canisius guard Williams down there with the undersized Hitchin? Now, the biggest Achilles heel for Warren Williams is his free throw shooting. Only shot 46% this season.
And he leads the team in free throw attempts, and there you go. Shows you're an experienced announcer to produce that result with ease.
The opposite jinx. Now, Warren Williams last night shot 6 of 8 from the free throw line, and that's a huge lift for them because he gets to the line a lot. He's always mixing it up down low.
1 for 2. Manhattan as a team is the only team in the country that shoots sub 60% from the line, which means they're last, by the way. Just connecting the dots for the listeners and the viewers. 3-0 start for the Jaspers. White inside the foul line. Williams makes a defensive play. Shot clock doesn't reset. Posting up Hitchin. The spin move, the hook shot, offensive rebound, put back for Jelani White.
That's a great putback there by Jelani White, a guy who is an extremely athletic player, very long.
He had 13 points in the season finale against Siena. Another easy pair for Williams. He has all 5 for Manhattan.
Right now, Canisius, no answer for Williams down low. We'll see if Reggie Witherspoon changes the defense or the matchup or brings somebody else in to guard Williams.
Manhattan's a team with no double-figure scorers. Pretty sure the only team in the country in that category, but Williams has really stepped up and been that guy down the stretch of the season. Off another turnover, it's Samir Stewart hitting the triple.
Well, Samir Stewart is a big-time shooter for the Jaspers, shoots 40% from 3. Really, as Stewart and Reynolds go offensively is how Manhattan goes.
White with a meeting at the summit, a jump ball. And the arrow going the Jaspers' way. If you had to diagram this start, I think this is pretty much how Coach Mass would have drawn it up pregame.
And he takes Williams out early. You get Williams out, he's having a great start to this game. He's got no fouls, so you probably sit him until the under 16 timeout, let him get a quick blow. But they do get a lot smaller when Williams comes out of the game.
Sophomore from Puerto Rico, Abube coming in. Hinkson, the spin move, little drop step, good footwork. Actually corrals his own miss, tries to go up again, and it's eventually out of bounds off of Hinkson, who's coming off a career-high 16-point performance in the first-round victory against Fairfield.
Yeah, Reynolds and Samir Stewart did not really have much going. Stewart hit some shots late, but it was Hinkson who stepped up last night with a big performance.
Kind of as Coach Masiello would even admit, winning ugly last night. Manhattan in a defensive game, led by more than 4s. That's a throwdown from Jelani White, but the Jaspers got the job done against the Stags.
How about that possession now? First possession with Warren Williams out of the game, and what happens? You get a high-low catch, Hitchin, alley-oop to White.
White has all 4 for Canisius. Drop down to Bube, looking to make that extra pass. Might have had a layup there, but instead it'll be Manhattan ball going into the timeout. The Jaspers have the early edge, but Jelani White able to climb the ladder for Canisius, down by 4.
College. We're a community of achievers, of Fulbright scholars,
Pulitzer Prize winners, champions of the court, and of finance.
And if accounting, medicine, and animal behavior are your idea of fun, then Canisius is a serious party school.
Above all, we're men and women for others.
And though we're small enough to know each other's names,
we're powerful enough to set the world on fire.
We are Canisius.
We bleed blue and gold.
We are Griffins, and we are golden.
Manhattan College has been shaping the greatest city in the world since 1853. But what you'll find here might surprise you. It's a small campus in a big city. It's where strong values meet open minds, knowledge becomes innovation, and changed lives become unbreakable bonds. Because when you welcome different perspectives, you rise above the expected, and the world follows. That's the Manhattan experience.
Welcome back to the ESPN 3. AJ Cannell and Steve Bazaz. 7-seeded Jaspers out in front. What's the preparation like with no time to prep? I mean, even for Canisius, which was off for a week, they didn't know who they'd be playing until last night. And obviously for Manhattan, they're playing with no days of rest.
It's so tough to prepare for a team like Manhattan. It's impossible to simulate what they do in practice. And they play so hard. They really take the attitude of their head coach. And that style and that zone defense that they fall back to is unique to them.
So you feel like regardless of the regular season record, their style plays up in a postseason short notice situation?
No doubt about it. Absolutely. And what always travels? Defense, energy. Now you're on a neutral site. And Manhattan, that's the way they win games. They rely on their defense to win.
Canisius forces the turnover coming out of the timeout. Molson has it ripped away. Capuano doing the honors for Manhattan along with Hinkson.
Now 4 turnovers already.
That's a tough 3 early in the possession, and it's way off the mark for Stewart. I'm assuming with Coach Masiello looking to control the pace of this game, probably not a fan of that Stewart shot.
No, I wouldn't think so. They're a team that needs to take their time to shoot. Now, I'm curious to see how long Steve Masiello will keep Warren Williams out of the game. He dominated the first 4 minutes.
Well, he only plays 18 and a half minutes per game despite his team-leading numbers and points and blocks, and he leads the conference in field goal percentage, but he gets in a lot of foul trouble.
And to get him out of the game without any fouls as of right now, it's a huge win early on for Manhattan.
Manhattan typically goes zone. And they frequently press as well. Baseline drive nets a foul on the Malik Johnson move. First personal on Stewart. 4 straight MAAC quarterfinal losses for Canisius. Looking for their first MAAC semis appearance since 2014. Another turnover. Hitchin lost it out of bounds. For Manhattan, they haven't been to the semis since they won back-to-back titles in 2014 and 2015.
Oh, what a job both these coaches have done with their respective programs. Big fan of each coach. I think Reggie Witherspoon does a phenomenal job with his team. And they run a great offense. Now, it's hard to see that offense against zone and against this Manhattan-type style, but their man-to-man offense is a joy to watch. So much movement.
Capuano passes to the corner. Usillo, the fifth-year senior. Nice dribble move. And the finish.
How about that hesitation? White jumped out to contest the shot, but Usillo kept going to the rim. That time you got to know scouting report. Usillo's a guy that does not like to shoot. He's more of a rim attacker.
Hitchin travels. Well, Usillo, by the way, is a guy that's quite a story. He had a series of just gruesome leg injuries. As you see him slicing in and making the play here. And then when he finally, after battling all these injuries, he gets healthy, then goes back to visit his family in Nigeria, has visa issues returning to the States, and misses an entire season for that reason. He's just thankful to be out here at all.
That's an incredible story, and credit to him and credit to Steve Masiello for sticking by Usillo and as a glue guy type player for the Jaspers.
Well, it's a sloppy start for both teams, which really is exactly what Manhattan wants. Of course, they would prefer not to give it away like that.
But that's exactly what Manhattan wants. They'll take ugly, they'll take sloppy, and this is what they want. They want a controlled type chaos.
Really have not heard from Molson at all yet. Who's out on the right wing, standing out there right now. Dumped down to Lotz. He swings to Molson. Good ball movement here. Henderson with the baseline drive. Airmails the shot. Molson tries the save and unable to convert that play, so it goes back to Manhattan.
And I think Takal Molson has to be more aggressive early on right now. His team is struggling on the offensive end, and they need a bucket. Manhattan has all the momentum right now, and That's a shot. Henderson, pull-up two-pointer, contested. Manhattan will sign for that shot every time down the floor.
The All-MAAC first-teamer, Molson, has yet to attempt a shot. Williams, just bruising through and rocking the rim.
Yeah, Lotz comes in for that matchup to guard Williams, but doesn't get the flop call. And an easy two, Warren Williams dominating early on.
Interesting seeing Lotz in there. He hadn't played the last couple of games. He broke his kneecap preseason and re-injured that a couple of games ago. This is his first appearance since, as Henderson slices in and finishes.
Nice cut there by Henderson. Throw to the short corner and just cut to the rim. It looked like Williams was out guarding too far. Nobody protecting the rim.
Now MAAC, one of the sophomore, kicks it to Capuano at the foul line, steps back and knocks it in.
Seen Capuano hit that shot a lot. Very comfortable getting inside that three-point line. A little fadeaway to that shot, but always under control.
Capuano is a senior as Molson misses it strong, and Green has the big rebound. Green just has that athletic build as a freshman for the Jaspers. Manhattan controlling in the early going despite coming in on no days of rest. Canisius had the full week off. Can that momentum help you sometimes?
No doubt about it. You already played one game last night. You got your legs underneath you. You got a team who's been out for a week.
With the shot clock winding down, Usillo front rims the three.
And that's what you worry about as a head coach. Your team's hasn't played. Or Manhattan's already had a game. They got their sea legs underneath them.
I think it's really a big deal for Manhattan to start strong as they have and really put the pressure on Canisius. And that's where we stand right now. A strong start for the Jaspers. 14-6 lead. And Williams has been a linchpin in that lead so far. The Jaspers in control. Griffin, I believe, is a mythical figure. He's wondering if he can conjure up some better basketball for his team going forward with 11:56 on the clock. The 8-point lead here in the first for Manhattan.
Just the way Manhattan likes it. Canisius 7 turnovers to start this game. Some of them unforced too. Just sloppy with the ball. Manhattan poking the ball right out of their hands.
This Canisius team, Steve, is all about assist-to-turnover ratio. The way they move the ball, they are first in the conference in assists. They thrive off of clean offense.
And a way to get clean offense is to get some stops. You know, Manhattan right now is shooting 60%. It allows them to set up their press. Now, you want to be able to get stops and get out in transition. They're very good in transition. They like to shoot the three. And also, Malik Johnson needs to have the ball in his hands to create.
Faulkner had a huge game against Manhattan despite the regular season loss for Canisius. Now it's Sanks. He's been battling the flu. It's a tough shot. He won't go. And Green gets the defensive board again.
Just another great possession of defense for the Jaspers. Sanks off-balance runner.
Canisius coaching staff sent 2 assistants in a separate car here to bring Sanks. He was wearing a mask the entire time to quarantine him from the rest of the team. Poked away from Green, then there's a foul called. It looks like it's going against Manhattan and Elijah Buchanan.
Sanks has that flu bug. He's a guy that can play a major role for Canisius, is Jonathan Sanks. Stretch the defense, hit the 3. He won a game for them earlier this year, just a few weeks ago, at Ryder, banked in a 3-pointer.
Well, he's been the guy that's replaced Isaiah Reese, the preseason MAAC Player of the Year, who has been suspended for the last 10 games due to conduct detrimental to the team. Faulkner off the mark on the 3. Sanks has stepped up, the senior, and has performed in a big way in the spot of Reese.
And still the 2 seed with Reese out of the lineup. And you have to give Reggie Witherspoon and other guys stepping up in Reese's absence. Malik Johnson's had a great finish to the season. He got voted to 3rd team All-MAAC. Hitchens had a nice year. Sanks plays his role well. But undoubtedly, that's a big player to be missing come tournament time.
Also, the way that Molson, though, has stepped up throughout the year, the fact that he's been comfortable becoming the top dog, that has helped in a big way with Reese out. An offensive foul on Abube. And if Manhattan is involved, usually there are a high number of whistles also involved.
It's something that they trade. They know it's going to happen. They pressure the basketball, and the way college basketball is officiated nowadays, it's tough to play physical at the top.
And Coach Masiello just is not scared of foul trouble for the most part.
And he plays a lot of guys, too.
Yeah, that certainly helps. Nobody averages even 25 minutes per game on their team. Sanks slips with a shot clock winding down. It is loose. And what do they have first here, a jump or a shot clock violation? They're going to say shot clock violation.
No, Manhattan gets to keep the possession arrow for the next jump ball.
That stuff matters. Small margin of error.
It matters. It just happened in the St. Peter's Iona game. Devontae Turner misses a front end of a 1-on-1 with St. Peter's down 1 with 2 seconds left to go in the game after hitting 3 straight threes to get his team back in it.
Right.
But on the rebound attempt, there was a tie-up, a jump ball, and possession arrow went to Iona. If St. Peter's had the possession arrow, that would have been a huge play.
It would have had a chance. People still buzzing about that finish, though. The comeback at the end for St. Peter's, and it all came down to a missed free throw, unfortunately, for Turner.
The same 2 teams met last year, and St. Peter's played them tough again and had their chances. I feel awful for Turner. He played a great game.
2 offensive rebounds, meanwhile, off of a couple of rough ones from Buchanan. Manhattan still controls it. Looking for Williams again instead. The up fake from Hinkson. Williams bobbles it and loses it out of bounds.
If I'm Canisius, I'm Reggie Witherspoon. Whether he's in there for that long or not, I'm screaming 3 seconds. Just to put the birdie in their head a little bit, as Williams has been getting easy position down low on the Canisius defense. And he was in there for a while that last possession.
I mean, he's like in the restricted area there.
Yeah.
He's way down there.
And carving out space, and I think they should have hit him earlier in the possession. I thought he was open.
This has been 14-6 for a while. We've just been chatting away, and the score has not changed.
Just as Manhattan likes it.
Johnson for 3. Yes, sir.
And there's a guy that needs to get going, is Malik Johnson.
Manhattan on nearly a 4-minute scoring drought, but still up by 5. Manhattan's opponents averaged the longest time of possession in the NCAA. They they play slow games as Capuano, the senior, answers from 3. Yeah, that's just a whistle for a wet spot. It kind of looked like Canisius was calling a timeout based on where the officials were pointing. That's Brandon Cruz over there. He's joined by Earl Walton and Edwin Young.
Well, how about the offense here from Manhattan? Great ball movement. Capuano gets an open look. For Canisius, they have to rely on their veterans right now. Takal Molson and Malik Johnson need to get more aggressive, need to start asserting themselves on this end of the floor. Now, Malik Johnson leads the MAAC in consecutive games started. A lot of experience.
Good patience on that fake from Molson. Lots battles for it, but Usillo wins the fight. Meanwhile, Steve, what a boost to get 5 out of Capuano already. He'd scored only 13 points since February 1st entering this game. Lob pass. Williams with the thunder over the top. Reggie Witherspoon presses pause.
Well, what a start for the Jaspers. The play that didn't work, the first possession of the game, now they run it again, and a great finish. Williams throwing it down.
It worked again, and that time it was executed by the Jaspers. Warren Williams taking the feed, senior to freshman. Manhattan by 10 in the Times Union Center. Manhattan going upstairs for Warren Williams. He is 4 of 4 from the field to begin the game.
Well, I think for Canisius, when Warren Williams is in the game, they have to start thinking about maybe going zone, because Williams has completely dominated this game early. He's 4-4 from the floor. He's got 9 points, and he's just really making it all happen down low. That's a great play to get him that alley-oop opportunity.
Off of a Coach Witherspoon timeout, there's a foul called as Manhattan extends their press to full court. It's the first on Usillo.
Also, offensively, for Canisius, I would think about putting Takal Molson in the high post against this Manhattan zone. You know, put a guy in the post that can operate. And Molson's such a talented player. He could do a lot of damage in that area.
Sanks fires away and misses the 3. Williams with a rebound. That's his second, but what a start for Warren Williams. 9 points, 4 of 4 from the field. The high field goal percentage, no surprise for a player who leads the MAAC in that category. And that's a traveling violation on Samson Usillo. Well, these are players that haven't always had huge minutes throughout the course of the year. You think about Usillo, Capuano. Coach Masiello riding with his seniors here in the MAAC tournament.
Well, guys that just know his style, play so hard. Look at the way Capuano guards the basketball.
Sanks got by him, though, there. Oh, going up for it. Jabril Faulkner. He pounded that one down.
Well, Faulkner is a guy that's so talented and so athletic and can really make things happen with all of the tools that he has to offer, and he can shoot the basketball, too.
I got to say, for a game that's been extremely slow, this game has been above the rim thus far.
Oh, great job, Faulkner, going up high for that one.
Dante St. Louis is the latest big to enter the game that Coach Witherspoon is trying against Williams.
St. Louis is a big dude, and look at him battle.
But late to recover, and Williams gets the and one.
So you got a guy in here that's in to guard Warren Williams and make it difficult for him. So what do if you're Steve Masiello? You put him in ball screen action. Make him hedge and recover, and that's exactly what the Jaspers do. St. Louis a little late on the recovery, but just enough time for Williams to catch and finish. This has been a textbook performance right now by Manhattan to start.
I just think we had an inkling coming in as Williams, who again is a poor free throw shooter, under 50%, hits another. We had a feeling coming in that because Manhattan is a team that excels at taking the opponent out of rhythm, and Canisius is such a rhythm team, that this might be a tough matchup for the Golden Griffs.
No doubt about it. And we talked about it earlier, AJ, a team that's already played a game in this tournament. Manhattan played last night, and they play a ton of guys. They're fresh, they're ready, they got momentum.
Of course, we're not geniuses. This matchup happened in the regular season, and Manhattan won. Again, that zone giving Canisius trouble. It's a tough three, and Molson is there with his 27%. Buries it that time.
But Molson is their leading scorer. He's their alpha. They need Molson to be more aggressive and get more shots. Now, not much going on that possession for them, but Molson just stepped up and made a big shot.
Been way better from two-point range this season, but can get hot from anywhere. Tough pass, but Green eventually corrals it. Oh, that was sent back, but right to MAAC, who takes the inadvertent pass and makes the three.
And sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good, right? That ball was sent right into MAAC's hands, like the shooting gun, right back to him in perfect position.
That was definitely shooting gun speed. Turnaround for Faulkner. This game starting to pick up offensively.
And you see Canisius went to a zone that last possession. Manhattan didn't have much going. I like that move with Williams in the game. And they stay in it. 2-3 zone here from the Griffs.
Neither team has made the MAAC semifinals since at least 2015. It was 2014 the last appearance for Canisius. St. Louis just giving it right to MAAC as it worked out.
Just an unfortunate play because the zone defense was giving Manhattan problems. That possession, I like that switch up there by Reggie Witherspoon. I think it's important for them. And stay in this zone defense. Make Manhattan beat you by shooting some threes. They're not a high-scoring team.
They're last in the conference in points per game, 350th in the country. That list does not extend out too much further than 350. Williams, he stays perfect from the field, 6 of 6.
Oh, Williams is only a freshman, and he is ultra impressive on his way to an all-MAAC team. Probably next season. He made the all-rookie team this year.
Johnson, a lot of dribbling. Eventually, Molson with a rim cut, and a foul is called. Molson, along with his now suspended teammate Isaiah Reese, declared for the NBA draft just to see what was up, see what he had to do to improve his game. And he's made that huge jump, Steve, from freshman to sophomore year, going from rookie of the year. Coach Witherspoon saying he was not content. He's not somebody to rest on his laurels with the rookie of the year, and now the All-MAC first-teamer.
And he's an ultra-talented player. He's got great size, can really do a lot of everything, can attack the rim. His three-point percentage isn't great, but he's a guy that's a capable shooter when he gets in rhythm.
Well, what's helped him, too, is the amount that he attacks the rim. He's improved his foul shooting from last year to this year. Final year of a 5-year contract. MAAC tournament in Albany. It's going to Atlantic City. It's a big change for next season. Stewart, well, the interesting thing there is he never touched it again. They blew that whistle early, right?
Yeah, it looked like it to me, unless he felt like Stewart landed before he got rid of the ball, but it didn't look like. It looked like he knew he got caught in the air. That's the one that he's got to shot fake and attack the glass.
Maybe you're right that he landed first. Let's see.
No, it looks like he dropped the ball. And Stewart's got to attack the rim there. Shot fake, attack the closeout, and go score at the rim.
Using Molson as the ball handler right now. Oh, he had some trouble. That was close. This is where Faulkner thrived in the first matchup. Oh, that's one way to try things. Nearly threw down his own miss. Faulkner had a career-high 20 operating from the high post in that zone in Canisius' loss against Manhattan a couple weeks ago.
And that's what they have to attack. Attack that high post. I like them doing it with Faulkner. I'd like to see him do it with Molson.
This is a Bube cutting in and missing the shot.
I don't think that's the shot that Steve Masiello wants on that possession. A Bube contested runner.
Johnson held up now, gets it back. 5'10 guard. Sanks, the fake, the take, and drills it.
And that's a big-time shot there by Sanks. You see the Manhattan defense, the way they move, the way they close gaps. They run at shooters, and if you get by one shooter, the next guy's running at you. But a great job of offense and poise by Sanks.
Lead down to 6. Williams out of the game for Manhattan still. Usillo, blocking foul is called. So that's a helpful development for Manhattan, but Canisius trying to claw their way back in. Jonathan Sanks, the senior, fakes it and bangs the three. The MAAC Championships on ESPN 3. are brought to you by I Love New York, Pepsi, New York State Lottery, Geico, and by UHY LLP. With Pizzazz, AJ Cannell in the Times Union Center, late night basketball in the MAAC quarterfinal round. Both teams actually losing overall records coming in, but Canisius, second place in the conference, a four-way tie for second. They won that tiebreaker in the 2-7 game now, looking to deal with the Jaspers and move on to the MAAC semis.
And two teams right now that, after Manhattan getting off to a great start defensively, Canisius, a little bit of rhythm now, 4 out of their last 5. Manhattan's actually scored 5 out of their last 7.
Warren Williams back into the game. Samir Stort back rim with the 3, and that is out of bounds to Canisius. I don't have it in front of me, but, I mean, I can't imagine what Warren Williams' plus-minus is in this game, because when he's been out, it seems like it's correlated to Manhattan struggling a bit, and vice versa.
Oh, Williams right now is the story of this first half. He's dominated, but you know what? Canisius is a bucket away from pulling this one even that much closer, and then you probably ask yourself, how are they that close? It seems like Manhattan has dominated this first half.
Well, like you said, it's just about Canisius finding their legs right now. They're the team that, as the game goes on, should continue to thrive more and more because they're well rested, but more nerves probably early on making their MAAC tournament debut this year. And not a lot of players either, really on either team, but especially for Canisius that have had a lot of experience at this stage. I mean, Malik Johnson leads their team in MAAC tournament games played, and he's only played in 3.
And Takal Molson only has played in 1, as a freshman last year, and they got upset last year.
That is stolen as Molson gives it to Sanks. He tried the Euro step, and there is a massive pileup. That's the majority of the players out there going for that ball, so it's a jump ball.
I love the way Manhattan plays and how hard they play for their coach. And these guys, everybody on the ground here, Canisius guys down, it's phenomenal. And a great effort here, March basketball.
Two teams definitely on the younger side overall. In a wide open men's MAAC tournament field this year. Such a contrast from the women's side to the men's side, where you have the dominant Quinnipiac in the women's bracket. And on the men's side, could be anybody this year, really. Take your pick.
The regular season in the MAAC was pretty incredible.
That's one word for it.
Teams jockeying for position. How about this for tomorrow? You have Ryder and Siena playing in the 4-5 game. This place tomorrow with Siena and Ryder is going to be it's going to be loud, to say the least. But Ryder got picked first, a unanimous selection first. Siena got picked last, and now they're playing in the 4-5 game. Just a few weeks ago, Monmouth was in first place. Now they finished 6th place. I mean, the jockeying for position in this league has been unbelievable.
Really has. Really has. Hitchin goes 2 for 2. That was the second foul on Usillo. 7-0 run right now for Canisius. So a good close to the first half for the Golden Griffins after the Jaspers have controlled play for the majority of the opening frame.
This is a big minute and a half here. If Canisius stays within 4 or closer, Manhattan's going to look up and say, how are we not winning this game by 10?
Try and cut into this lead more right now. Manhattan on another 4-minute scoring drought. Johnson dishes, and Faulkner spins it up and in.
Oh, Faulkner's played a nice role in this game so far for Canisius, and that's a great drive and drop-off by Malik Johnson.
So now 9 straight for Canisius. Over the top, and Williams, 2 more easy ones. 7 for 7 here in the MAAC quarters.
And somebody lost a shoe. There's a shoe on the court.
Oh, and Henderson slipped over it. Earl Walton tosses it out of play. Johnson tries and cannot connect on the 3. Trying to look and see who that was. Whose shoe was that? Oh, see, it's Stewart going over for it. Everybody's wearing white shoes, so it was tough to tell. But how about Warren Williams, who as many big games as he's had lately, he's had a number of double-digit efforts in a row, but this is a new career high for him, 16 points. And he's gotten there with the first half, still 26.1 to go.
Oh, Hitchin doing what he has to do against Williams. He's fronting. If he gets caught in the back of Williams, he's no match for him. Williams has completely outsizes him, so he's doing a good job fronting. Where's the weak side help, though, for the Griffs?
Not where it should be, to answer your rhetorical question. 4-point difference as the Jaspers can hold for 1. MAAC, tough pass back outside. Stewart gets it off and hits it at the buzzer. That was right in front of Reggie Witherspoon. And just like that, as Canisius was narrowing the lead, instead it's a 7-point advantage for Manhattan at halftime.
Well, phenomenal response by Manhattan to re-extend their lead.
This is the freshman from Fort Lauderdale. Ice in his veins there, Samir Stewart, and Manhattan leads by a touchdown at the break. 32-25 Manhattan on top of Canisius. Manhattan in the regular season victory against the Golden Griffins shot a season high 65%. They're at 56.5% through the first half of play and 4 of 8 from 3. Here's the overall setup right now in the MAAC tournament. Close call victory. Iona helped by Devontae Turner missing the front end of a 1-and-1 with 2 seconds to play. Otherwise, St. Peter's would have had a chance to upset the 1 seed. Right now, after the regular season, very unpredictable. So far, the top seeds, some of them haven't played yet, but at this point, holding serve. Canisius obviously struggling with Manhattan. That Monmouth-Quinnipiac game should be fun. And then late night tomorrow, Siena, the home team, playing Ryder. You're looking forward to that one, too.
I can't wait for that one. This place is going to be buzzing for that game. What a job Jamie and Christian has done in his first season with the Siena Saints. The future is bright.
And if it's March, and if we're here in Albany, Iona just finds a way, one way or another, usually. Halftime here, Manhattan up by 7. AJ Cannell and Steve Bazaz here at halftime. 32-25, Manhattan on top of Canisius, the 7 seed out in front as of this moment. Let's take a look at the all-MAAC first team members, one of them on this Canisius roster. Talented group this year in the 2018-19 MAAC season.
2018. Well, the kids wanted a puppy, but they can be really expensive. So to save money, I just found him a possum.
Dad, I think he's dead.
Probably just playing possum. There he is.
There's an easier way to save. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
NCAA college basketball returns to Atlantic City in 2020 when the MAAC teams battle it out in historic Jim Whalen Boardwalk Hall. This destination resort is the perfect backdrop for Division I men's and women's hoops, with excitement and entertainment on and off the court. Whether you come for the day or take advantage of special stay and play packages, Atlantic City's world-class shopping, dining, gaming, and spas await you. Make your plans now for the MAAC Basketball Championships in AC, March 10th through 14th, 2020.
Step 1, complete. From this point forward, only the elite advance. Destination Tampa Bay and the Women's Final Four. The 2019 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Albany Regional, March 29th and 31st at the Times Union Center in Albany, New York.
Bounces right back with a triple. Great job here. And that'll do it!
Visit ncaa.com/WBB tickets and get your tickets today.
Speed and precision, unrelenting power. This trophy is not given, it must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Frozen Four, April 11th and 13th at KeyBank Center in Buffalo.
With a shot, saved by Morris. Takes the shot,
Visit ncaa.com/Frozen4 and get your tickets today.
The first half stats are brought to you by Pepsi. 57% from the field for Manhattan.
Yeah, how about that? A team that scores 57 points per game. Off to a big start here in the first half. Warren Williams completely dominating.
Manhattan will take that as well, on pace for 19 Canisius turnovers, although the turnovers are even. And Warren Williams got Manhattan started.
Well, he's only 7 of 7 from the floor, and Canisius has had absolutely no answer for Williams down low.
He's been perfect from the field. Canisius with a Johnson 3 helping them get back in. Williams, a lot of alley-oops and dunks in that first half. There's one more for Faulkner. And the end result after that Stort 3, Manhattan leads it by 7. Second half up next. Canisius trying to battle back from 7 points down. It's the start of the second half in Albany, the Times Union Center. And the MAAC Championships quarterfinal round. A.J. Cannell and Steve Bazaz with you. Final year of the MAAC Championships in Albany. Going to Atlantic City starting next year. Great first half for Manhattan, really both ends of the court. Reynolds triggers the 3. And he's been dealing with an ankle injury of late. Numbers have been down. Canisius looking to pick up the pace. That'll be a foul on Manhattan, and that's the first on Warren Williams, who has dealt with foul trouble throughout the course of the season. Was not an issue in his great first half.
How about the fact that Williams not only dominated the first half, but made it out of it with no fouls. He wrapped up Hitchin there around the neck, and they're going to go to the monitor there.
Whenever it's contact up high, you have to wonder if a flagrant is coming. I know it wasn't a huge amount of contact necessarily. What do you think here?
Based on the way that basketball is officiated nowadays, I think it's going to be a flagrant. And we saw a play that was much less than that last night, a hook and hold play that is now a point of emphasis in college basketball. That was called a flagrant. So if that's going to be a flagrant, then I think this is going to be a flagrant too.
I was watching your call of that play last night, and I was also curious, like you were, exactly why that was a flagrant.
Yeah, it's a point of emphasis. Not that I don't think you have to agree with it, and I certainly didn't agree with it. But if it's a point of emphasis, then the officials have to make that call. They're being directed by the NCAA to protect player safety, and hook and hold is a play that they say is an unsafe play. So that was a flagrant. To me, if that's a flagrant, then this probably will be one, because it looked like Williams got him around the neck.
Again, it's Brandon Cruz, Earl Walton, Edwin Young. The 3 officials. And they're doing a lot of explaining to the Manhattan bench, which would usually be a sign that that's a call against Manhattan. Flagrant one was the word from Brandon Cruz.
And it's the right call. According to the rule, it's the right call. And he did get him around the neck a little bit. So, really no disagreement there. Hitchen's got to make his free throws. But they got to stop, and they race down the court in transition to get an easy bucket. Hitchen way off there.
Big difference is it's just shots in the ball. Still just one foul on the player, on Williams. Sometimes you see if there's the extra, dead ball technical foul. It could be an extra personal foul if there's a technical foul. But with the flagrant, doesn't matter for Williams' foul count, but Hitchen misses both.
Both badly, too. One long, one short. And Canisius gets the ball back.
I would say Williams has won his matchup so far, as that's out of bounds, and it's Manhattan ball. Hitchen, only 2 points, missed those free throws. Williams with 16 through the first half.
Yeah, miscommunication. Malik Johnson was looking at Hitchen. It looked like he just kind of threw the ball to the corner, expecting him to be there, and he went the other way. Just another turnover.
Now the 10th of the game for Canisius. Golden Griffs looking to kick it in gear and finally advance past the quarterfinals under Reggie Witherspoon. Be the second straight year they lost as the 2 seed if they can't come back in this one, but still plenty of time.
Hitchen is a guy that's known to be a little scrappy and have a little bit of a short fuse, and him and Williams were going at it, and he almost got teed up, Hitchen, after complaining about the call. He's a little frustrated right now after missing his free throws. He comes out of the game. That's a good sub by Reggie Witherspoon to get him out.
Reynolds connects on the 3.
Oh, what confidence. When these two teams met in the regular season, Manhattan shot 65%.
And right away, Canisius throws it away.
Reynolds and Stewart were 5 of 9 combined from 3 in that game. And really, when they get it going offensively, Manhattan's a different team. And Reynolds how confident was that shot? Shooting over the smaller Malik Johnson. They were in a 2-3 zone there.
Reynolds out of Harcum College in Pennsylvania, the same junior college as Williams. Caught the pass, dropped it in, and Canisius forced to call a timeout. 37-25, Manhattan. Williams, just a freshman, acting like a veteran out there. Well, to start the second half, 5 straight points for Manhattan. Also, you look back to the end of the first half, they got that late 3 from Stewart as well, so you can tack those on. And Canisius had narrowed the gap, but Manhattan at the very end of the first and now the start of the second, pulling away again.
Well, there was a point in that first half where Canisius was only down 4 after really being dominated most of the first half, and I thought that was really the mark in the game that if Canisius kept getting closer, they could have went into halftime really feeling good about themselves. However, it went the other way. Manhattan re-extended their lead at halftime, and now even more. And it's been a clinic on the offensive end by the Jaspers. Warren Williams dominating right now down low, and the Griffs have no answer for him.
I mean, if you're an outsider dropping in to the MAAC tournament tonight and you were just looking at things on the surface and saying, what is going on here? 9 seed down to the wire with the 1 seed, the 7 seed just taking the 2 seed to school as Johnson answers back with a long 2. The thing is, though, for those that have followed the league this year, this is just no surprise given the way things have gone.
No surprise at all. And, St. Peter's probably should have beaten Iona. Turner goes to the line for 1-1, down 1 to beat the number 1 seed. And he missed the front end, but Iona could make the case they probably should have lost. That would have really turned this tournament upside down, huh?
This could do some damage in that area as Reynolds drops it down. Williams just gets the shot off, and that's his first miss of the night, and then he commits the foul as well, his second.
And he's limping a little bit, and we talked about him getting plagued with foul trouble, made it out of the first half with no fouls, and then picks up 2 quick ones here in the second half. That's a major development in this game.
His field goal percentage goes plummeting to 8 for 9 now in the game. But that is a big extra foul for a player who picks him up pretty easily. But a trap and a takeaway. Now it's Hinkson, the Euro step. Little strong with the layup. This up and down more favors Canisius. Molson slicing in. It's now Sanks, has all day, and cannot quite get the roll.
That's a good look in transition, though, for the Griffs, and that's what they have to do. They have to get stops and try to get some rhythm with some secondary break. Great pass, diagonal look to Sanks.
Steve Masiello, the Manhattan coach, said coming in, we have to get back on defense. No transition points allowed. Reynolds straight away. No good on the 3. In the middle of the zone, drop down, and a 2-hand stuff for White. Good feed from Faulkner.
Reynolds got caught extended out in the zone defense. Great high-low basketball.
MAAC, who has the ball now, the only player to start all the games this year for Manhattan. Now Hinkson taking it straight in, contorting himself. Got his own miss eventually, and White fouls him.
Hinkson, another one of those Steve Masiello type players that plays his role. A nice, long, athletic player coming off a 16-point game in the opening round yesterday. An athletic player. And that's the kind of guy that Masiello likes to recruit, really because of his style. He wants long, athletic guys to play that defense.
Looking for his first points of the game after the career-high 16 last night in the first-round win against Fairfield. Hinkson prepped at the Tilton School in New Hampshire, which that became well-known when Nerlens Noel attended. 1 for 2. First point for Hinkson. Winner of this one plays on Sunday at 8:30 in the semis against the winner of Monmouth and Quinnipiac, the 3-6 game, which is happening tomorrow. Johnson diving in, blocking foul is called.
Now you see Abube trying to step in and take the charge. He's a guy that's known for doing all the little things. And actually had a game earlier this year where he took 6 charges in one game.
It's a lot of time spent on the floor. Take a look at this attempt, though, as Johnson is good on the first.
Now he slides over. Yeah, it's a good call. He was blocking. He was moving. He might have been in the restricted area, too.
It's a lot of ways that was not an offensive foul.
Yes.
Foul in the backcourt on Sanks. Reggie Witherspoon, you have to imagine he's saying, okay, if you're calling that on us at that spot on the floor with that amount of contact, you could do that all day with Manhattan.
No, Reggie Witherspoon not happy with that call, and I think what he's saying is you let the other coach make that call for you. Steve Masiello was barking for that call really this whole second half, and he finally got it.
My question is, why does Coach Mass want that call? Isn't that kind of the MO of his team?
Yeah, you're right.
That type of guarding? Cross-court skip pass. Hinkson being aggressive, blocked from behind, but Green crashing in, and that's going to be a foul and a shooting foul, according to Brandon Cruz. Manhattan just being so aggressive, whether it be offensive rebound or attacking the rim. Hinkson, even with the shot blocked. And the offensive rebound and the foul call. So Manhattan still in control, up by 7 with a timeout. Welcome back to the MAAC Championships on ESPN3 with Steve Pizzazz, AJ Cannell. These are always the type of matchups that are fun because it's that contrast of styles just in a tug of war throughout the game.
Yeah, Manhattan known for their defense. Again, Manhattan only scores 57 points per game, but if you look at their offensive numbers in this one, they'd certainly sign for these. 15 of 31 from the floor, and they're 5 of 11 from 3. Conversely, Canisius not shooting an awful percentage, but turning the ball over too much. 12 turnovers and only 3 threes. They like to shoot a lot of them, but only 3 of 9 right now.
Only one regular season meeting in the unbalanced MAAC schedule. That'll be an offensive foul on Abube. Manhattan again won that meeting on February 17th by 5. They shot a season-high 65%. Canisius, even though they shot 9 of 18 from 3, still the loser in that game, as the Jaspers, not normally known for offensive execution, scored on 11 of their final 12 possessions in the game in the regular season matchup. That is clearly, we were right there for that call, a good call by Earl Walton on the sideline for Johnson.
Yeah, just an unforced error. You got to know where you are on the floor. You see that happen to guys a lot along the sideline.
High post in the zone, Abube well off with that one. Hinkson first to the floor. What a play. Great hustle again from the Jaspers. But the ball gets spilt away again, taken away again by Hinkson. Meanwhile, 4 seconds to shoot. Capuano hoists it up. Manhattan bench would have exploded there, but it's a foul on Canisius.
I'm just looking over at Reggie Witherspoon, and he's just so frustrated right now. He had 2 opportunities at 50-50 balls, and you can't get them, and Manhattan's able to take it right out of their hands. And then a chance at a rebound after the shot clock running down, and you get a foul called.
Keep in mind, both teams playing without a hugely important player. Paulie Polycap, last year's Defensive Player of the Year in the conference, out with a season-ending injury for Manhattan. Isaiah Reese suspended for conduct detrimental to the team for Canisius.
And each team has been without those players for a very long time now.
It's a contested three. Rims in and out for Capuano, and a foul from behind on Hinkson. Coach Witherspoon, when I brought that up with him, just sort of asking, all right, how are you guys continuing to play so well without Reese? What are you guys doing out there? He didn't even want to touch it. That question, even though it only had to do with Reese on an ancillary level, he didn't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. He just said, what we've been doing is not talking about it as far as Reese's suspension.
Yeah, I think it's just a tough situation. A guy who was so important to their team and their program, and an excellent player, too. And I think he probably should have won Player of the Year last year in the league.
A lot of people thought that. He was an All-MAAC first-teamer. His teammate, Jermaine Crumpton, was the co-winner of the award, along with Khalil Dukes for Niagara. There's a foul on the jump shot from Faulkner there.
You know, when guys get suspended, too, it's usually never an impulsive move by a program, right? There's got to be some build up there, and eventually it gets to a point where, sometimes you got to make a tough decision, and it's too bad for everyone involved. But Canisius is doing a great job. They're the 2 seed. Other guys stepping up. Malik Johnson has had a phenomenal season as the junior point guard, leading the way for this program. And maybe a big storyline in this game, too, is Scott Hitchin. I really like his game. He shoots over 50% from 3 in MAAC play. He's been silent in this game.
This game is now down to a 5-point game. Canisius has not played well, but they are sticking around after 2 from Faulkner. Williams, the turnaround. Misses again, but Green tips it in.
How about Green attacking the rim? It's a great job there, really underneath the rim, and looked like his left hand to tip it in.
Williams began 8 of 10 from the field, has missed his last couple. Faulkner, nice offensive rebound and the stick back.
Well, Faulkner's really played a nice game for Canisius in this one. He's got 8 points on 3 of 5 shooting. He's got a few rebounds. And he's really caused the defense some problems with that great athleticism.
He was the one who had the career-high effort in the first game against Manhattan, showing out again. Green misses the 3, but Williams is right there.
Good position there for Williams on the long rebound off the front of the rim.
Doesn't it feel like Manhattan has controlled this game more than that 5-point lead suggests?
No doubt about it. Looking down at the score and say, wow, I thought Manhattan was up a little bit more than 5.
Zip pass to Williams. He's gone a little bit cold after his flawless start.
Now Faulkner again, great defense there, staying vertical.
Johnson on the attack, the drive-in kick. Now it's Henderson making his way in. Sent back by Williams. Now it is Green. He's got huge athleticism. There's a foul, and count it.
I'm not going to lie, AJ. I thought he might have traveled on the play, and that's what I thought Earl Walton was about. I thought he was going to call a travel. Let's see. Henderson, great block by Williams here. And then Green taking off. Yeah, right there. Malik Johnson reaching in.
When we saw that live, we were both thinking that's a lengthy continuation. But then when you see it on replay, you say, well, you understand why he made that call.
Yeah, he was getting into his 1-2 steps there to get and elevate into a layup attempt, and Malik Johnson tried to strip that ball from him. I really thought he was going to get called for a travel.
I thought, if anything, maybe the reach in before you count the bucket and just a foul on the floor, but everything going Green's way with that sequence. So now it's back up to 8. See how Canisius responds. Just looking to get their offense going. Normally a pretty high-octane group. Drop down, White going up and throwing it down.
Well, much better execution against the zone here in the second half. high-low basketball. Manhattan's been a little late on recovering. When that ball goes to the high post, those wings have to dive down to the block. But Green and Williams got mixed up here. Or was that Buchanan?
Well, they just trust Faulkner, though, Steve, in the top of that zone. They just need him to continue to execute and make plays, whether it be scoring for himself or creating like that.
And that's what they have to do. You got to keep hitting that high post against the zone.
Again, a two-possession game. Williams draws the contact, and a whirling move from Buchanan. Reggie Witherspoon looking for the travel on the setup, but it is Williams back to the free throw line. Manhattan still hanging on to their multi-possession lead. Up by 6, middle of the second in the MAAC quarters. Welcome back. This was the last time Canisius, and the only time Canisius won the MAAC championship. In 1996, they beat Fairfield and cut down the Nets. I wonder if those photos were taken by Reggie Witherspoon's brother, Ron, who's a photographer. Now, of course, Reggie was not the head coach at Canisius at that point, but just wanted to get that in there. That's John Beeline.
How about John Beeline, huh? Coach at Canisius. Never been an assistant coach in his career.
He's just been a head coach at every single level. But that's Reggie Witherspoon, whose roots run so deep in Western New York and in Buffalo. A longtime Buffalo head coach. He really followed his older brothers into basketball. I mentioned Ron, who is a photographer, longtime photographer in the area, who has all these old photos of Reggie and his accomplishments playing and coaching and other athletics in Western New York. For instance, he's got old Buffalo Braves photos. Bob McAdoo. His other older brother, Greg, is an ordained minister, and he says, as the youngest, he'll usually walk around, people go up to him, approach him, Reggie, and they'll say, hey, I know your brother. Even though he's the basketball coach, the supposed celebrity, it's all about the older brothers. Canisius as the 2 seed, down by 8. A.J. Cannell, Steve Bazaz here in Albany in the MAAC tournament quarterfinals. Canisius looking to crack the semis for the first time since 2014. Johnson misses the 3. Good fight by Faulkner. He gets it back, drops it down, and count it for White.
A huge sequence right there for the Griffs. Get some momentum back. That's a 50-50 ball that goes their way. Really created by Faulkner. What an impact he's having on this game. And the drop-off, too. And White's able to finish through contact. White's 4-4 in this game.
Faulkner, 10 points, 5 rebounds, a couple of assists. Canisius continues to just hang around. Manhattan, they won back-to-back MAAC championships. The second one of those was in this building in the first year of this 5-year contract here in Albany, 2014 and 2015. And they have not been back to the semis since. High stakes for both teams. Buchanan spins again. Williams off the glass and back in.
That might be some of their best offense. Just get it up on the glass and let Williams clean it up.
Warren Williams, the freshman out of Kingston, Jamaica, has a career high 20 points. Johnson weaving back and forth. Now it's Molson. Hits his second three.
Oh, great job there from Molson. And phenomenal by Malik Johnson. Creating, weaving in his way out of traffic, getting into the lane, drawing the defense, kicking out to Molson, stepping up, making a big shot.
Reynolds, quick trigger. Strong. Canisius just trying to kick things in gear offensively. They feel like they're close. Molson, way strong. And Reynolds gets it to safety.
I don't know if they're happy with that shot on the Canisius bench. I know we just hit one. Maybe too early for a heat check.
Molson third in the league in scoring. But pretty quiet day so far overall. He did hit that recent three before the last miss. Buchanan is a whirling dervish inside that spin move again to set up Williams.
Well, all created by dribble penetration, though, in the last couple drives by Buchanan. You got to keep the ball in front of you. All the help goes to Buchanan and lets Williams slide into an open area.
Now it's Faulkner for two.
Faulkner has really stepped up. Hitchen's been out of this game for a long time. Faulkner's been the one playing that role.
They have a number of different options at the forward position. Just depends who has the hot hand. Tonight it's been all about Faulkner for the second time this year against Manhattan. 9-minute mark. Buchanan's been making some plays. The freshman has it taken away by Sanks. He lost it out of bounds with 3 to shoot. Buchanan, freshman from the Bronx. He's one of the 7 underclassmen and 5 freshmen in the top 10 of Manhattan's rotation. Young group. That's why Coach Mass feels like they've improved as the year has gone along. The guys have learned how to win. Timeout Manhattan here is the call. And some extra debate going on after the fact between Brandon Cruz, Earl Walton rather, and Steve Masiello. We'll keep it here with this 30-second timeout. Again, 5-point game. Jabril Faulkner, he's been the leading man for Canisius.
Faulkner's had an excellent night here. Really knocking down this shot. Mid-range jump shot against the zone defense. 12 points on 5 of 7 shooting. Also has 5 rebounds. We saw him have one huge putback where he threw one down. But, hey, listen, Manhattan has controlled this game, but Canisius is right there. This game is there from them. They just need a couple stops. And you got to just keep grinding against that Manhattan zone.
Got to put one up here soon. MAAC, he does. Gets a piece of the rim, but misses. Definitely a game that's in Manhattan's comfort zone in terms of style, but they're not one to really blow teams out. Griffs are still going to have a chance. Sort of a mini 2-on-1 there set up with Faulkner in the middle of the zone, and that was pretty easy to execute that once Faulkner had it.
You talked about Reynolds having a bit of an ankle injury. He's too slow again when that ball goes to the high post. Williams has to step up and guard it, and he's relying on his wing players to dive down to the block and protect him underneath. Reynolds has been too slow a couple times now in the second half.
So as this game has gone along, we've seen Canisius get more comfortable against Manhattan's defense and operate out of that high post. Can Manhattan make some type of adjustment now in the final 8:36?
Oh, it's really just their style. I mean, that's the way they play, and they're used to that ball going into the high post too. Sometimes you just have to execute what you do better
What do they have to execute then? Just pinching down, like you said?
Absolutely. They have to be quicker when that ball catches in the high post. Williams has to come and defend it, and those wing guys have to crash down harder. That high-low action has hurt them in this game.
But Canisius now within 3. That's the big storyline after it's been Manhattan most of the way. Williams, offensive foul. It was Markel Lutz, who again missed the last couple of games, aggravating a knee injury, gets spot minutes, and the senior JUCO transfer makes a big play.
That's a great job by Lutz. Sometimes you got to understand the moment, and it's a great call. Williams went into him. Lutz was in great guarding position, and that's the right call.
And they have a comfort zone going with a lot of these JUCO recruits because Reggie Witherspoon, he himself played at the junior college level. And that's a foul as things are starting to turn Canisius' way. Hinkson. Honestly, just the more you think about it, the rhythm of this game is just so unsurprising. Start out Manhattan feeling loose and comfortable after last night's effort. Canisius getting their legs underneath them. And then as the game goes along, just slowly, Canisius attempting to wear Manhattan down.
And we know Manhattan is a team that struggles to score. They typically will go on a scoring drought. Can Canisius come back and take advantage of that? Molson missing that first free throw. How about Manhattan in the double bonus already with 10 team fouls?
Yeah, both teams in the bonus, double bonus like you said, in terms of the team fouls against the Jaspers. Canisius playing zone. Stewart lofts it up, falls down and misses, calling for a foul. But Abube grabs the offensive rebound.
50-50 balls, right? Seem to go to Manhattan for the most part in this game.
Oh, no doubt. Definitely a foul there on Green's drive. He got hit multiple times. And so Canisius continues to inch closer. It's a 2-point game. Manhattan, though, going to the free throw line.
Well, kids wanted a puppy, but they can be really expensive. So to save money, I just found him a possum.
Dad, I think he's dead.
Probably just playing possum. There he is.
There's an easier way to save. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
NCAA college basketball returns to Atlantic City in 2020 when the MAAC teams battle it out in historic Jim Whalen Boardwalk Hall. This destination resort is the perfect backdrop for Division I men's and women's hoops, with excitement and entertainment on and off the court. Whether you come for the day or take advantage of special stay and play packages, Atlantic City's world-class shopping, dining, gaming, and spas await you. Make your plans now for the MAAC Basketball Championships in AC, March 10th through 14th, 2020.
Welcome back to the MAAC Championships on ESPN. Manhattan leads by 2, 49-47, and they have led the entire way, but this is as close as Canisius has been in the second half.
Canisius really has settled in now. They're 7 of 13 in this second half, at 53%. Conversely, Manhattan only 6 of 22 in the half, and it's letting the Griffs slowly but surely get back in it, and now it's really anybody's game. Well, Manhattan putting themselves here, though, in position to upset the 2 seed. It just makes you think what a job Steve Masiello is doing with this young team, how much he graduated from last season. But here with a shot to make a run.
The senior class of Rich Williams, Zane Waterman, Xavier Turner, Calvin Crawford, then losing Paulie Polycap to an injury mid-season. That was a rough miss, though, for Green on the free throw, and Canisius can tie or take the lead. Johnson puts his head down. It is Sanks. Gets the three off. No.
And Manhattan actually went man-to-man on that possession midway through. Had a little matchup problem, so they decided to go man.
Warren Williams, who leads the game with 24 points, currently on the bench for Manhattan, getting a little rest. Green puts it up. That's an ugly miss. Obube saves it. 4 to shoot. Hinkson with the kick out. MAAC gets the three off. And it's around and in.
That is just a backbreaker for Canisius. You get shots that you want Manhattan to shoot. Green putting up one that's not even close to going in, but the Jaspers run down another offensive rebound, and then MAAC launches one with the shot clock running down.
Isn't that the type of thing, though, where you let a team hang around and crazy stuff like that can happen?
No doubt about it. When you give teams extra chances, Manhattan's been playing with a ton of confidence in this game, and credit them for offensive rebounds. They're now 12 offensive rebounds to only 6 for Canisius. They're plus in that battle. They're plus in the turnover battle and creating more opportunities for themselves, and you get rewarded for it.
That had to be a big concern, though, for Reggie Witherspoon. Canisius ranks last in the conference in rebound margin. And yes, it's short prep coming into this game, but one thing that you don't need to prep for is just who wins that fight for the loose ball.
Oh, you know how hard Manhattan plays, and you can't even blame size on some of these. Is Manhattan just running down these basketballs or poking them out? Just a little bit more aggressive on that end.
Well into the 11 p.m. hour in Albany. 2 more quarterfinal games tomorrow night. But one of these two teams looking to become the second team to make their way to the MAAC semifinals this year in 2019. Just one timeout left now for Manhattan after Coach Mass calls one. It's a bad pass, and Hinkson right there.
A phenomenal defense by Hinkson, knowing his assignment and coming over from the weak side to take the high post away.
Canisius getting as close as 2. Manhattan puts up the stiff arm for now. Hinkson going to work. Contested 3. Stort no good. Hinkson kept it alive again.
Unbelievable here. How frustrating for Griff's fans that are watching this game saying, get a rebound. And they're still in it. They still got a shot. You got to get a stop and a rebound.
Because this Canisius team has a lot of size. That's the surprising thing about their rebound issues this year. But asking Coach Witherspoon about that, he just says, we're young. And some of these guys just, they don't really know. They can't anticipate the angles well enough yet with the rebounding.
And Manhattan's, they're shooting a 3, and they've got the green light. Stewart certainly got the green light, and you had some air balls and some long rebounds, and like you said, not being able to anticipate where that ball is going to come off the rim.
1-and-1 here in the third personal on Sanks, and Nehemiah MAAC converts. He's the only player for Manhattan that started more than 75% of the team's games. He's started every single one in their evolving lineup this year.
In that line of Steve Masiello point guards, defensive-minded leaders, Rashawn Storrs, Tyler Wilson, and now Nehemiah MAAC does a great job running the show.
He also said, Coach Mass, by the way, said that Stort reminds him of Storrs. There's a comparison that Manhattan fans might appreciate. Former defensive All-American, Rashawn Storrs. Spin move, and White with a much-needed Canisius bucket. Reggie Witherspoon throws down the timeout. I tell you what, both coaches are using them early. This game will be decided on the court down the stretch because not a lot of timeouts left to go around.
I like Reggie Witherspoon using a timeout there. It's a big possession. Now, I do think it'll let Steve Masiello sub back in Warren Williams, or at least that's who I would bring in here, and get him back in and try to use him down low because look at the size advantage that White has with the Boubet running the middle of that zone. White's able to score right over him.
It really has dictated the game so much, whether or not Williams is in the game at any given moment.
Yeah, who says the big guy isn't important anymore in basketball? It's not just about shooting threes. You got to score in the post, too. Williams doing it. 24 points, 10 of 13 from the floor.
Well, those veteran basketball fans in the viewing audience are going to appreciate some of our conversation tonight. The conventional post play, got a Buffalo Braves reference in there. Who needs the new school stuff?
Oh, I love conventional post play. We grew up in the 90s watching Patrick Ewing.
No doubt. Sure, a lot of Manhattan fans probably did too. Green cutting in, back rims the layup, and Canisius can cut this down to one possession again. Molson, no looks it. Henderson, well short. Foul on Manhattan. Molson had the position. Was the call at least.
And Williams, that'll be his fourth. A nice take here by Molson. Now finding an open shooter. Let's see Williams now boxing out. That's a tough one. Had the arm a little bit high, and it got Molson kind of across the neck, if you will. And that's where the call was. And you know what? You got to credit Molson there. Him being aggressive and attacking that rebound is what created that foul.
Williams has picked up all four of those after the halftime break. And he leads the game with 24 points. Now back on the bench with the 4. And it's a 3-point game. And the winner takes on the winner of Quinnipiac and Monmouth in a semifinal game on Sunday. A Boubet straightaway 3, front rim. Manhattan having trouble from distance in the second half. Sanks with the ball fake. Johnson drives straight in. Breaking down the defense, setting up White.
Oh, great job by Malik Johnson, attacking the gaps of the zone. And he comes to a jump stop and the drop off there.
White has now matched a career best 16. His scoring numbers way up of late. Hinkson called for a travel. Canisius makes another surge, and they are within 1. The latest strike coming from Jelani White. 54-53, Jaspers. So we were talking about how Warren Williams for Manhattan began the game 8 of 8 from the field, but been a sneaky 7 for 7 now is what Jelani White is up to for Canisius, and he leads the Griffs with a career-high tying 16.
Well, White and Faulkner have played huge games here, and White's been finishing so well around the rim and doing a good job of when Canisius catches the ball in the high post, putting himself in position on that high-low action to catch it and score it. But at 54-47 in this game, just a couple minutes ago, White had a big jump hook turnaround in the lane that cut it to 5, and I thought that got the Griffs rolling a little bit after Manhattan went on a run of their own.
Manhattan got off to a hot start. They've carried the torch. They've led the entire way, led by as many as 12 early in the second half. MAAC quarterfinal action here in Albany. A.J. Cannell, Steve Bazaz with you. Molson has an alley, missed it short. Oh, bookmark that.
Molson had a great chance there to put the Griffs up 1. This is where psychologically you're fighting an uphill battle here. You just want to try to get ahead, and they still haven't been able to.
And Stewart draws a little bump. It's a big swing. Kind of like you said, to be playing from behind the entire night, it wears on you. They get all the way there, and you have your best player right at the rim. That hurts.
And Molson put a great move on, looked like a boobay there. I think it was Green who came from the top of the zone on the opposite side and came all the way over to contest that shot. Made it just a little bit more uncomfortable for Molson.
Third personal on Johnson. Samir Stewart, who's 84% from the line, goes 2 for 2. Manhattan back up by 3.
Well, in close games, too, Manhattan has guys who shoot free throws well.
Molson just takes it like a running back right inside into traffic, and he gets the whistle he was looking for.
And the name of this game right now might be free throw shooting in these last 2 minutes, 43 seconds. Molson's got to go and hit his free throws. He's 5 of 6 from the free throw line.
Got 11 points. He had a similar game against Manhattan in the regular season. Not necessarily great from the field, but he was 7 of 8 from the free throw line in the regular season loss. 2 for 7 from the field in this one. And now Molson adds 2 more at the free throw line. He has 13.
Now Canisius extending a little bit.
I haven't seen a lot of this. Crafty play by MAAC, dribbling out of the pressure.
MAAC's a great point guard for them, running the show. Efficient player. He shoots 85% from the free throw line, MAAC, by the way, in a close game.
Shot clock winding down again. And Green is called for the shuffle. Now, both teams have great numbers in close games this year. Manhattan is 5 and 3 in games decided by 5 points or fewer. Canisius leads the NCAA in wins in games decided by 5 points or fewer. They're 10 and 3, although they did lose to Manhattan in a game in that category. With 5-point margin. Reggie Witherspoon, the Canisius coach, he didn't want to hear about that stat, though, coming in. He said it doesn't really do much for us going forward. Happy to have won some close games. Molson looking for the call. There is none. And now they're going to reverse it and say it is Canisius ball.
Under 2 minutes now, so you're going to go to the monitor, and Molson trying to draw the foul there. And you know, if there's no foul on that play, then I've got to think it's going to be, you know, tipped out of bounds and off of Manhattan. You know, Molson wanted to play. You see a lot of NBA players do that when defenders stick their arm in.
It's kind of the Kevin Durant move, right?
Yeah, you bring your shooting arm up into the. And it's Manhattan basketball. Wow, that is a tough play here for, and you know what? It looked like his forearm got most of the basketball actually on the way up, looking at it from that angle.
Here's my issue, though, is that when you go and do that, my issue with the review system is, I've been saying this for a long time, only one element of that was reviewable. You can't review the foul call there. You can only review who it was out off of.
Right, and I think actually looking at that angle, it looked like a lot of his forearm actually had ball.
Manhattan going for Williams. That play had worked over the front several times earlier. This time Canisius is ready, and they can take the lead.
It's good transition defense, though, by the Jaspers.
It's Molson, the all-conference first-teamer, working his way in, and another foul. Like you said, free throw shooting contest late.
And that's the guy you want to have the basketball, and a tough place to guard a player like Molson, who's so talented. It's great size. He catches the ball in that pinch post area and puts a lot of pressure on your defense.
Molson is number 10 in the conference in free throw percentage, but they're going to miss a chance to take the lead. Molson can still tie it.
Still can't get over the hump of getting the lead in this game.
Molson goes 0 for 2.
And you got to get over it. On to the next play. Now you got to get a defensive stop.
Coach Witherspoon was saying that coming in. Next play mentality. That's what this team has been great at this year. But that hurts. Your best player at the line going 0 for 2 there. Hinkson. Williams tries to power it in. Another whistle.
We've seen a lot of that high-low action on really both ends of the floor. And it's a great look by Hinkson. Williams working underneath. That's a good call. Molson hit him. And you see when guys go up hard and strong and try to dunk it, they typically get rewarded with a foul call. Now we talked about Williams being a guy who struggles from the free throw line in the regular season, only 46%.
He's 4 of 5 from the line in this game. Oh, goodness.
I mean, does it just seem like everything's coming up Manhattan in this game? And Molson just missed 2. You got a 46% free throw shooter on the line right now. And that ball bounces way up in the air and goes in.
One for 2. And so it's Manhattan by 2. They've led the entire game. Canisius, another opportunity on the offensive end. Johnson, the dribble drive. Molson finally ties the game.
And who gets it done? Your two veterans, your two leaders, Malik Johnson, the drive and the drop off, and Molson that time finishes with the left.
There's one timeout left per team. Masiello's going to let Manhattan play this through. Going high post. Hinkson around the back. Stewart. 5 to shoot. Green got to make a play. Foul is called with 1 on the shot clock. And it fouls out to call Molson to add insult to injury.
What a tough finish to the game for Takal Molson. Let's see the replay. Green having to be aggressive here. Shot clock running down. And it's a tough one on Molson. And not only it fouls him out.
I think he might just be asking now. He's contesting the shot. What else can he really do there?
Nothing. I mean, quite honestly, AJ, nothing. He comes over. He makes a great play. To me, Green's a little out of control. Shot clock's running down.
Green was kind of already in the process of losing the ball, it looked like. That one hurts.
That's
big time.
That's a tough one.
To refocus here, Green is not a great free throw shooter either. 60%. He needs 1 to take the lead. no. Meanwhile, regardless here of whether this one goes in, Canisius' best player, Molson, is out. He's fouled out. Where do they go? What do they do?
I think you have to put the ball in Malik Johnson's hands and let him create. And if he makes this, I try to get the ball in right away. Get the ball to Malik Johnson and let him take off down the floor, try to beat the defense down.
Green, second chance for the lead. No. We're tied. It's Johnson now slowing it down. They can hold for the final shot of regulation. Johnson fading away. It's short. Rebound tip loose. Last touch by Henderson. It's Manhattan ball with 1.7 to go.
Now, from our angle, AJ, that shot looked like it was going in for Malik Johnson.
Sure did.
And I liked it. I like letting him play. You get a ball screen, he goes the other way, step back jumper. Got a pretty good look at it. You know, if you call timeout there and set up a play, you have to deal with the Manhattan zone defense possibly. You're not sure what D they're going to play. I like the look there and not letting Manhattan set up the zone. They got a ball screen. He rejected it. He went the other way. I don't mind the play. I don't mind the look at all.
I always say there, too, when you only have one timeout left, if you call that timeout, then you have none as you're trying to get the ball back in. So if there's issues there, you risk that. I'm with you. But meanwhile, there's a replay review to determine probably multiple things, who that was last off of. I think we probably would both agree it's clearly going to be Manhattan ball, but also the timing.
So here's what I think Manhattan should do. They have one timeout left in this game. Now, this is where the monitor lets them get a free timeout, right? So
Sure.
now Manhattan's got a free timeout. They can draw something up, and what they should draw up is a play where they can throw it to half court and call timeout again. And we'll see if they do that. And it's going to be Manhattan basketball. But Steve Masiello gets a free timeout here with the monitor review, which to me was unnecessary. It was clearly off Canisius. So now you get a chance to draw up a play, hopefully throw it to half court if you're a Manhattan fan, and call timeout again, and then you draw up another play.
Clock gets reset to 2.5. Inbounds into the backcourt. Stewart. He was just calling for a foul there. What was going on? Maybe a timeout at the end was what Stewart was looking for?
And that's exactly what they were doing, AJ. They were trying to get the ball up the floor
call timeout
as quick as possible.
Well, he just turned around. I was wondering the officials weren't acknowledging it.
And now they have to go to the monitor again and see how much time is actually on the clock.
Here's what took me by surprise there, Steve, was that your strategy makes complete sense, but I was surprised how far back they inbounded the ball because they used most of the remaining time just getting it up across half court, where kind of what I was envisioning from what you said was more of a longer bomb pass towards the front court.
And this is where not being able to run the baseline, so it wasn't after a made shot, so you can't run the baseline on a play like that. So that affects you a little bit too.
I mean, he touches it here.
But you see he doesn't have the ball.
He doesn't have the ball
when he's calling timeout, so there might not be that much time left on the clock.
But how do they go back and legislate that? Okay, he didn't have the ball, so he shouldn't call the timeout. It looks like they've just said, okay, 0.7, and Manhattan gets the timeout.
Well, if you're Steve Masiello, you got 0.7 seconds on the clock. Where do you look to do? You want to try to maybe throw it down the sideline here, get a guy running to the sideline, catch and shoot. The other option is to throw it up at the rim. You know, if you're a little crazy, you have the guy from the sideline actually shoot the basketball, right? You shoot it from the sideline, you get a nice, conventional, soft rebound to tap it in at the buzzer.
Right, because as long as it stays in play, it can't go in, but if it stays in play off of that miss, the clock hasn't started yet, you can just try and tip it in.
I like that play. That's what I'm rooting for here. Shoot the ball from the sideline, a bounce off the rim, and try to tip it in.
Hey, I bet you Steve Masiello is bold enough to make that play call. Why not?
Now, Canisius needs to guard the basketball here. If I'm them, I put a big guy on the ball. They have Malik Johnson on the ball. I want to see a big on it to try to make that pass difficult to throw it towards the rim.
Of course, 0.7 is enough time, though, to catch and shoot. And now Reggie Witherspoon takes a look at the alignment, and then he calls timeout. So, okay, I've always wondered this. In this situation, you're back now in the Manhattan huddle. Witherspoon sees what you've lined up and then calls for time. Do they draw a second play here, or do they do the same thing?
You know, I don't know if they draw a second play. The only thing that I'm looking at Steve Masiello, if I'm him, I want to know who's guarding the basketball. It really changes things for me. No, it's hard to throw the ball at the rim if you have a 6'10" guy guarding the ball who's long and athletic and jumping jacks on the basketball. That's a hard play. If I see that, I might want to draw up a play where I run a guy to the corner along the sideline and have him catch it and shoot it.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. I mean, obviously, Canisius is not a good rebounding team, that sort of thing, but they're very lanky and lengthy. They have a lot of size in that sense. I'm not convinced that Manhattan's going to throw this towards the rim. They may do what you just said there, and it's 0.7, still enough time to catch and shoot. So now both teams have no timeouts. The one thing that both teams certainly cannot do is commit a foul here. One thing you definitely want to stay away from. Manhattan looking to convert and get themselves to the MAAC semifinal round for the first time since 2015. Canisius just wants to get to overtime, most likely here, is their path, and then be the first team from their program into the MAAC semi since 2014.
I'm looking MAAC to run off of Williams here and maybe Stewart to back screen Lots.
Green to throw the ball in, White guarding him. Green look towards the corner now, towards the hoop. Williams lost it on the way up. Extra time in Albany. Steve Masiello not happy, but 5 more minutes coming up in the Times Union Center. All even at 57.
After all that, you get a pretty good catch here in great position. Lots with the block.
It's overtime in the MAAC tournament quarterfinals. A.J. Cannell alongside Steve Bazaz in the Times Union Center. Manhattan and Canisius tied up at 57 apiece. Oddly enough, Canisius has still never led in the game. And the biggest thing for them is that their top option, one of the best players in the MAAC, Takal Molson, has fouled out of the game.
And that's certainly a storyline going forward here. Without Molson in the game, who do they turn to? Now, good for them is that Malik Johnson, I think, has really done a good job of creating offense for other guys in the second half. Now, maybe he gets more aggressive, but Faulkner and White have been phenomenal in this game. They've combined for 28 points and 12 of 14 shooting.
Meanwhile, for Manhattan, they have some players who are on the brink. Williams, Hinkson, Abube has not been in there. But all 3 of those players have 4. And Hinkson and Williams have been super important for the Jaspers in particular. I mean, to some of your earlier points, it really hurts for Molson to be out. But the one saving grace for Canisius is that's a tip off of the opening tip, and it goes out of bounds off of Manhattan. The saving grace for Canisius is, as long as Johnson is still in the game, that's somebody who can always make a play for them. Having trouble getting it to him on the inbounds. Eventually, Henderson comes and saves the day.
Malik Johnson's their quarterback. He started 97 consecutive games for this team. With him running the show for them, They're in good shape.
This game down the stretch of regulation was really dominated by the whistles. Free throws for both sides.
You remember, Molson missed 2 free throws late.
Sanks, deep 3 at the shot clock buzzer. No Henderson there. Line drives the miss. Third try is a charm. And it is Faulkner handing Canisius their first lead of the game. It comes in overtime.
A great job there. Faulkner again all over the glass.
MAAC with the quick answer.
Canisius finally gets the lead, and then MAAC with a great answer. How about that shot from MAAC? Poised, big-time shot.
Does this tournament ever disappoint?
Oh, we've had some great games here the first 2 days of the MAAC tournament.
Every game seems like it's better than the next. Faulkner feeling it. Oh, he got the 3.
Talk about a guy stepping up in this game. Jabril Faulkner has certainly brought it tonight. Shooting the ball, rebounding, defending, you name it.
Faulkner's got 15 for Canisius. Hinkson, the freshman, looking to make a play, scoops it, and it just misses.
I think you got to get Williams a touch eventually, right? Seems like he hasn't caught it down low in a while.
Yeah, he's been sitting on 25. Well, it was 24 for a long time, then hit 1 free throw, 25. A lot of points for him in this game, but not as many lately. Manhattan defense has stifled Canisius most of the game, but things are starting to open up, and Faulkner got it again.
If you're Manhattan, eventually you got to find Jabril Faulkner. That's twice now, same spot on the floor. He gets an open 3. You got to close him out and run him off the line.
It's a high pass for Tyke Green. Green draws the foul, nearly gets into it. And at this juncture here, midway through overtime, best to separate everyone.
2 straight threes here for Faulkner at the same spot. And you got to cheat out to him and be there on the catch. Well, he's had the hot hand.
Sensing that his team has hit a lull, and you don't have to have a strong sense of basketball to even notice that at this point. Everyone can see that Manhattan is struggling. Coach Masiello is making a change. Usillo coming in now. It's Capuano back in.
And Green misses another free throw. Keep in mind, he missed 2 with the score tied at 57 late in the second half. About 12 seconds left. He missed 2.
Gave Canisius a chance to hold for the final possession of the game, and Johnson missed a deep 3. This time around, Green 1 for 2.
Now Manhattan needs to rely on their defense here to get a stop. If I'm Canisius, I want Faulkner with the basketball.
Johnson, crossover, into a 3, short, and Usillo there for the rebound. Manhattan still breathing. Winner plays the winner of Quinnipiac and Monmouth on Sunday.
Griff's doing a much better job not letting Williams catch the basketball.
This time Williams has it, finds MAAC. He has all day. No good that time. He hit a big one late, shot clock in the second half.
That's great offense. Inside-outside basketball. Williams made the right play. MAAC, nobody near him, had all the time in the world to line up his shot. Maybe 2 open.
Clock is the friend of the Golden Griffins right now. Johnson, knowing that, has been holding it the whole way. Now gets into action. That's a tough look. Offensive rebound for White, but he threw it away.
White's got to credit White for running that one down. A 50-50 ball was about to go the Griff's way. It really seems to have gone Manhattan's way, at least for the most part, in regulation. White's got to put 2 hands on that basketball. That's a big play here, giving Manhattan life.
Offense, defense substitutions for Coach Masiello. Canisius extending right now. Got to find Williams, right?
And you got to get him in touch.
He's trying to seal out space. Can't get the ball to him yet. So MAAC's going to penetrate. They got Green an open three. He's been struggling from out there. Williams, though, gets the offensive board and puts it right through.
That's a great look by MAAC to get Green an open look. And then just Williams dominating on the glass.
If you're Manhattan, you got to play defense here, right?
Well, that's their strength. You got to rely on your defense.
No need to foul here. One score game. And Reggie Witherspoon's going to call timeout.
This has been a fun one, huh, EJ?
I mean, I just think it's amazing how much of the game Canisius sputtered offensively. And then, because of course, with your best player fouled out of the game, that's what somehow kicks you into gear finally here in overtime.
Hey, they did a great job in the second half of staying with it, and they grinded out possessions. They started executing better, high-low basketball against the zone. And Manhattan really struggled for the most part percentage-wise in the second half shooting the basketball, and it allowed Canisius to slowly but surely creep back. Now, each team had their chances on the free throw line too. Molson missed two big ones. The Green missed two big ones. But the difference has been the threes from Faulkner here in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, Canisius, I think, knew coming into this game would be dictated by how productive and efficient could their versatile forwards be. Players like White and Faulkner. Faulkner in particular, who can really stretch the defense, and he's been A+, 20 points, 8 of 10 shooting. White is 7 of 7 with 16 points. Johnson with the shot clock down to 2. In the lane, floats it up. It is in for Johnson. 4-point game. MAAC takes it all the way in and does draw the foul with 3.8. So now you take a look. Manhattan has one timeout left. They need MAAC to make a pair. And they'll need a missed free throw, but this was what could be or could end up being the dagger.
Well, how about Malik Johnson continuing to battle in this game? 9 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists for Johnson, and a huge finish there to put Canisius up 2 possessions.
MAAC is good on the first. These are both must-have.
If I'm Steve Masiello, I'll sub on the second make here. Let them set up a press here and face guard unless he's going to burn his timeout.
Probably want to save that timeout for when you're back on offense, though, right? No, never mind. He's the coach, I'm not.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. I would try to save it for offense, too, similar to what we saw in regulation, where you can throw it the length of the floor and possibly call timeout. Or if you get a missed free throw, you can get the rebound and call timeout right away. Now you can't do that, but he wants to set up the press here, and you got to face guard. You try to get a steal.
Now, I know that's normally the thought process is, can you get a quick steal before you immediately foul? But my question is, with only 3.8 and now no timeouts left for Manhattan, how important is it to just wrap up as quickly as possible and not let that time slide off?
Well, it's order of operations, right? So the first one is you got to have great pressure, guy in the ball, jumping jacks, try to force him to the short corner. Guys off the basketball, you have to face guard. You have to switch every screen. The first thing you're going for here is a 5-second violation. Next, you're trying to steal the pass, and then if they get the pass in, then you got to wrap up.
No timeouts left for Canisius either, so they must be careful to get the ball in. They do. Johnson playing keep away, and he used about half of the remaining time.
And being able to run the baseline changes things too. After a made basket, you can run the baseline. It allows the guy in the ball to use the whole court. They run Malik Johnson from one side of the floor to the other and get him the basketball. And this is what we talked about. Now Steve Masiello won't have that timeout. Let me go on now about the monitor. So they have to go to the monitor again to check time. Steve Masiello's got no timeouts right now, but he can get a free one because of the monitor.
See, my fix on that would be I agree that could be an issue. And if you don't like that, you could just prevent the teams from meeting with their coach in this spot, right? You could keep them on the other side of the floor.
Yeah, it's just a free timeout, you know, and
it's definitely
to
an
me
advantage.
it's unfair to the team that's winning.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
But if I'm Steve Masiello, I call him over right away, draw up a play while they're looking at the monitor, and that's what they did.
It's a big part of the college game right now is just those reviews. But big thing here, 1.9 they've reset it to. A few tenths got added back on. Again, no timeouts for Manhattan. And now Johnson just needs one more to ice the game.
Now you make this one, ice the game. If you miss it, if I was Manhattan, I'd let the ball bounce first. Clock doesn't start, and then try to get it on the run and launch it.
This game is as good as done. Inbounds to Stort. The buzzer sounds. And the 2 seed, Canisius, holds on against Manhattan in overtime.
What a gutty, gritty performance by Canisius. Manhattan dominated this game for maybe 30, 35 minutes, but Canisius just slowly and surely kept coming back and then answered in overtime. And how about Jabril Faulkner's 20 points and 2 huge threes in the extra session?
Jabril Faulkner leads Canisius with the 20 points, 8 of 10 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. And Reggie Witherspoon leads his team to victory.
Now, you can't say enough about what the Griffs did in this game. You know, Manhattan had all the momentum in this one, and then relying on their defense, Manhattan got cold, and they started executing better on the offensive end. Now, Faulkner was huge. Molson with 15. Johnson with 11. And we're going to go now to A.J. Cannell with head coach Reggie Witherspoon.
Thank you. Here with Coach Witherspoon now. And after Takal Molson fouls out of the game, how did you guys execute in the overtime?
Well, credit to the guys, the players. They stuck in there. They were mentally tough the whole time. Manhattan did a great job. I mean, they're a really difficult team to prepare for. And we've now had to do it twice on one day. That's really hard. But credit to our guys for fighting through it and staying together. Takal Molson did a really good job after he fouled out of staying alert and staying into the game. So this was really hard fought.
We're going to talk to Jabril here in a second. How important were your bigs like Jabril and Jelani as well with their efficiency and Jabril operating a lot of the game out of the high post?
Jabril, again, did a great job coming off the bench and staying locked into the game before he got in. That's a really hard job. People don't give that job enough credit in terms of how difficult it is because the game is moving and you got to kind of jump on the train after it started to leave. And he did a really good job for us today. So, credit to the guys.
All right, Reggie, thank you and congratulations.
Thanks, AJ.
All right, Jabril's going to come over to us right now. Going to congratulate with his coach first. Hey, Jabril Faulkner with 20 points, 2 of 3 from three-point range, 8 of 10 from the field. With Takal fouling out of the game, what were you guys thinking? What was kind of the message from coach, and how did you guys play so well in overtime?
Closing out the game, just believing in our teammates in every possession, getting 3 stops, just grinding it out. Don't worry about the offensive end, crashing the boards, and just believing in each other to the end.
How good as players did this game feel after the tough loss at this same point in the season last year?
Honestly, we're not done yet. It feels great, but it'll feel even better when we get that trophy and go to the NCAA.
All right, thank you, Jabril. Congratulations again. All right, now back to you, Steve.
What a job by Jabril Faulkner, and hit 2 enormous threes in this game. And how about the finish by Malik Johnson there late? Faulkner, we talked about his 20 points, efficient from the floor, the 3-pointers, defense, rebounding. Faulkner certainly brought it tonight. How about this is the first time since 2004 that there's been multiple overtime games in a men's championship.
It's been super exciting. Now, back here with you, A.J. Cannell with Steve Bizaz. And Manhattan shot the ball so well in the first half, 56.5% from the field in the first. And got much worse the rest of the way. Canisius buckling down in the defensive end, using the talents of Faulkner and company to pull away offensively in overtime, even with Molson fouled out. And here we have it. Scares for the top seeds in the tournament, but unlike last year, where the 1 and 2 were both out on the first night of the quarterfinals, they're both in. They squeaked through to the semis.
This was a phenomenal game. And let's also mention Warren Williams, by the way, the freshman, 27 points, 5 rebounds. He was 11 of 15. He dominated most of this game. But Canisius deserves so much credit for staying with it and getting back in this one.
What a win for Reggie Witherspoon and his group. Williams dominant early on, but the Canisius Bigs had the last laugh. Really fun overtime final here in Albany. So, for my partner, Steve Bazaz, I'm AJ Cannell. A fun night tonight, saying so long from the Times Union Center in Albany. Once again, in overtime, the final score, 69-65. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.